first time Octavia glimpsed into the magnificence of the vast underwater world, she was met with an overwhelming feeling of déjà vu. It was as if she had explored these oceans a million times before. As a girl, she always had a fascination for the sea, collecting many books on the various life that resided there and watching endless documentaries about the bizarre and colourful realm which was the home to the earliest forms of life. Her walls were plastered with beautiful artworks of dolphins, octopi, turtles and coral reefs. She had an assortment of stuffed animals, all creatures from the sea. Her favourite of which was a large stuffed orca that she named Amaya. In her dreams, she would often find herself a mermaid, swimming effortlessly through the depths of the blue infinity, surrounded by beautiful, colourful creatures as far as the eye could see. As she grew, Octavia filled her dreams of connecting with the ocean by travelling through some of the world's most magnificent islands, training as an advanced scuba diver. Her life was a simple one, with little seeking of wealth or possession of material goods. She spent her work days venturing into the deep blue and conserving the underwater habitats. In the afternoons, she educated local communities about the wonders of the sea. All she needed was the serenity of nature, the warm caress of the salt water against her skin, and the calming sounds of the tides rolling in and out eternally. One sunny afternoon, Octavia was freediving off the coast of Costa Rica. She was wearing a large lilac single fin that stretched outwards like a mermaid's tail. Freediving was her favourite because she was free from the weight of the heavy scuba equipment, and she was inundated with total silence and peace. Everything was about remaining calm and controlled. She could hold her breath for just under 20 minutes. There was nothing but peace in this moment without breath. But the loud silence of the scene was interrupted by the faint vibrations of a melody, ruminating in the distance. Curiously, Octavia followed the song like a sailor following a siren into the depths of the sea. She became engrossed with discovering the source of the sounds, losing track of time. Deeper and deeper she swam, shifting her way through tall vines of giant kelp and seagrass that stretched up all around her. She came across a large ocean rock formation that stood tall in front of her like a great wall blocking her passage. But she could still hear the hum of the music reverberating from behind it. Despite feeling that her breath was running short, the pull of her curiosity outweighed her shortening time. She paused in a moment of calm and scanned the wall looking for an opening she could pass through. There was a gap just big enough for her to squeeze through. She drifted delicately through the cave as it twisted upward and through to the other side. It was dark, but there was enough light seeping through that allowed her to navigate the route. The song grew louder as she approached the exit, and the blue seeped back into her vision. Her ears were vibrating with the tune. She suddenly realised that the song she heard was not a single melody, but an orchestra of songs, dancing together like leaves blowing in the wind. Her realisation was also met with a light-headed fog. Her mind felt sleepy and clouded. She had been under the water for far too long, and the breath she had taken at the beginning of her freedive was unable to sustain her. Octavia's usually calm resolve began to crack as she frantically started to swim towards the surface. She danced, her single fin rapidly like a butterfly flapping its wings, but her energy began to wane as she could feel her mind slipping further and further into a dream-like state. In contrast with her clouded mind, her heart was pounding like a drum, beating as an accompaniment to the ever-growing melody that continued to echo in her periphery. Involuntarily, her body was about to gasp for air. She stretched her arms out towards the sky as she looked up at the glimmering light of the sun reflecting on the surface of the water above. She was only about 20 feet from her salvation, but her body became weak and she felt herself slipping away as her body took its first gasp of ocean water. "This is it," she thought to herself, as she let go, feeling a bittersweet anguish rush through her body like an electrical pulse. Her mind began to race as she let go of this final moment. Suddenly, from the depths of the blue, a group of orcas emerged around Octavia. They danced around her in a display of curiosity and affection. Placing her on one of their backs, they then ferried her to the surface. The young girl coughed and gasped heavily as she was ejected out of the water. She celebrated the second chance she had been given in awe as she realised what had happened. Still on the back of one of the orcas, she was surrounded by a family of these magnificent creatures, taking a breath of their own. A short moment passed. She allowed the adrenaline to settle as she gently slid off the back of the orca that saved her. After preparing her breath and reconnecting with the silent calm, she dove back into the ocean. She felt once again ready to return to the sea and to dance with the melody of their orchestra. A large orca caressed its smooth skin against Octavia's legs and placed her hands on its nose. This was the orca that saved her life. Octavia looked into his deep, pearly eyes and felt an overwhelming sense of familiarity. It was as if this orca were an old friend, greeting Octavia's soul in a new life. "I owe my life to you." A smile appeared across her face as she thought. Amaya, she quietly named him. In this moment, Octavia felt as if her childhood dreams of being a mermaid, at one with the sea, had become a reality.